Welcome everyone to the Nerd Nook. I'm your host, MNT, and with me like always is my mighty friend, Noah Bailey. So today, we're going to start off by reviewing Thor, Love and Thunder. So, thoughts, go.
I like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I went into this expecting the second best Thor movie. That is what I got.
that's fair.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Because again, I really like Thor Ragnarok.
Mm-hmm.
Most people do, so I was kind of like, I don't think it's gonna be that good,
Mm-hmm.
but it's the same. It's kind of basically the same cast running it back. Obviously, plus Natalie Portman's return. So it
Mm-hmm.
was like, you know what? It'll probably still be had the same magic to it.
Right.
And yeah, it kind of did in some areas. It
Yeah.
wasn't as perfect, but again, it kind of kept doing what it was doing. It did a good job. There were some
Mm-hmm.
good jokes, and yeah, it was pretty good. And for anyone who said it's not better than any of the first two Thor, which I had to argue with someone who said not Thor 1, Thor 2 was better. And man, that was something.
I feel crazy for liking this movie. Like, just like with Obi-Wan, it felt like everyone on the planet, on Twitter and other social media, for some reason just, even before watching it, just decided they were going to hate it. And
Right?
then it wasn't good enough to change their opinion, so they automatically said it was the worst Thor movie. Like,
Not even close.
so, and I don't know exactly what'll happen in your argument, but like I've seen some people say that like essentially Thor: The Dark World's main issue was that it was just stupid boring. The villain was boring. The plot was boring. You didn't like any of the characters. It was just a very dull movie. Whereas they think Thor: Love and Thunder like had actual structural issues, and to an extent, I do have a couple of issues here and there with it. But like, I really enjoyed my time watching it, which is not the case for either of the first two Thor movies.
Especially the second one.
Yeah.
And my thing is too is like you said, which movie did I like more? Thor 2, where I definitely fell asleep more than once, or this one, which granted, like no, not every single moment I was like, yeah, but I was entertained. I was
Mm-hmm.
interested. I thought I laughed a good bit. Like it was good.
Yeah,
Some
like
parts didn't make any sense, but to be honest, eh,
yeah, I don't like pardon the pun, but I wasn't expecting lightning to strike twice with Taika Waititi making a Thor movie. It, but but like but it was close enough where like
yeah,
I really enjoyed my time watching it. Like, I was expecting an exciting and funny action movie, you know, with Marvel characters, and it was exactly what I was thinking it would be. So I liked it.
yeah.
Yeah.
What was I saying? It was fun. Like it wasn't like earth shattering. It wasn't awful. It was. I like it. It was
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah. Now getting into like more spoiler talk, like I said, there are some issues here and there, and I want to go ahead and get those out of the way because there is a lot of I did like about it. My two major issues with the movie was one, I felt like Valkyrie's character was heavily underutilized. She didn't really have an arc. She didn't even really get to do anything in the movie. She was just kind of
There.
there,
Agreed.
which is really disappointing because like the opening little montage of when like when they first showed New Asgard, it was showing her like in her the day in life of being the king of New Asgard, and she didn't really look happy doing it. She looked like she's kind of going through the motions of this, and I thought that was gonna be like a major plot point, like you know I like being king, but this isn't like fulfilling for me. This isn't like really what I want to be doing right now. And then I don't know exactly where they would go with that, but I think there is something interesting you could do with that. But that she just kind of is there for a lot of the movie. Did you kind of feel the same with her?
Yeah, I mean, like it was weird because yeah, it was kind of just okay. Here's Valkyrie. She's important because you've seen her in other things. Also, nope, that's it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It was kind of
Yeah.
just like she was just kind of around, which was it's kind of disappointing because again, between literally, all we went through with Thor Ragnarok, and she's been a big part of, kind of the Avengers. She was in that big battle with everybody else, so
Yeah.
it's kind of like you would expect a little more, I guess, purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Because honestly, it felt like the way the character kind of just stalled. It kind of felt like she could have just stayed on with New Asgard, to be honest, because she was kind of just there because they needed an extra character. It felt like it felt like she was just there because they paid Tessa Thompson too much money to not only be in it for like 5 seconds,
Right.
essentially. But
I
she didn't
mean,
really do anything.
I like
So
in the first big fight with Gore, she was holding the lightning bolt, so seeing her run around with that was
yeah,
cool for a bit. And then she wasn't in the climax, so whatever. But
she did get stabbed though.
yes, but I don't know. Kind of like what you said. I feel like if she's just not gonna be important for like the height of the movie, why is she on this journey in the first place? I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, again, I
Like
really did enjoy watching her, do the action scenes she was in. I liked her little like rapport with Korg, but I wanted more from her.
yeah,
Like,
because they definitely could have like. It feels like it definitely felt like the story was kind of written around just the two Thors, and
yeah,
then they were like, "Oh, we also have Valkyrie,
right.
and let's throw Corey in." Which no one's mad with extra Corey at
Oh,
all, but
not at
still,
all. But I feel like you still could have fit Valkyrie in there. Like, there was one moment where she was like, kind of like, like nudging Thor about him, like, still having feelings for Jane, and she was like, "I'm on Team Jane," and like smiled and walked away. I thought that was gonna be a thing where like there would be moments where like she was like also trying to flirt with Jane, which could have been funny, but that didn't really happen. I don't know. I feel like they could have worked that in, but it's kind of
that could have been interesting. Yeah,
yeah. I don't know.
just to kind of I don't know. But then again, you would have had the whole like love triangle thing that everyone's so tired
I
of
mean, you
too.
don't
So.
you don't have to make it a love triangle. I think it's like a couple, just like 3 moments here and there of just like, or just like I don't know.
Just to kind of to mess with Thor than to actually like,
Yeah, yeah.
okay, I see what you're getting at.
Um, but whatever. Like I said, I really obviously like Valkyrie's character. I liked the thing that she did. I just wish there was more of her. Which,
Okay.
speaking of that exact concept, Gore the God Butcher was fantastic for the
Yes.
little bit he was in the movie. He should have been
I
in way more of
really
the movie.
also I love the villain origin story in this.
Oh yeah.
Very simple, but like super compelling. You're
Hmm.
kind of still on his side even in the end because it's like
Yeah.
in the movie the other gods kind of prove his point.
Yes.
Like, because like, I mean, They're in like the whatever place the gods are at. Thor's pleading his case, like he's gonna kill us all, and Zeus is like, well, he's gonna kill these like little gods. I don't care. Like, not only does he not care about people, he doesn't even care about other gods. So
Uh,
like, that's just, like Gore's right. Like Gore did nothing wrong. To be honest,
yeah. And
like,
I wish they had explored that more. I wish we had seen Gore like actually, well, goring more gods. I wish we had seen him actually doing more stuff. Um, I wish we had seen Thor wrestle with, are gods actually necessary? Like
yeah,
more
especially
than
when
they
he was trying
did.
to find his purpose. I feel like that would have been a big thing to tie into it,
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't think
right?
it's like I don't think it ruins the movie that that conversation didn't happen, but it was definitely something that I feel was was a puzzle piece that I feel could have been like put in there, but the this is a bad analogy, but the puzzle isn't like incomplete without it. That made more sense in my head. Anyway, but you get what I'm saying, though. I think,
Yeah,
yeah. But regardless, Christian Bale killed it. Like that was
dude.
just just Wow.
Did a great job, very convinced. Like, even, like again back in the beginning where he's like losing his mind over like, we're saved, our God is back, and the guy's just like laughing, and he's just like the amount of just like does not compute that he
Mm-hmm.
portrays is just
It's
great.
like
You can
I'm
just
the
because
last
again
of
like
your.
that's how you would react if that really happened. You'd just be like, what? Like what do you mean there's no reward? Like what are you talking about? This
Mm,
is people have died for this, my guy. Like what do you
yeah, he's
mean?
like
Like
I'm
it's
the last
losers.
of your worshipers. He's like there'll be more. It's like I don't think
Yeah.
there will be. It's like well whatever. I'll still be around forever. It's like well we'll see about that.
Yeah, man. I really like that concept. I feel like that's a very granted, I feel like that's been definitely been used in something before. I can't think of what it is,
Sure.
but it's still really cool and it's really sympathetic. You deal
Mm-hmm.
with it because you can relate to that. Because like, if everything you would ever like work toward turned out to just be a cool joke, you'd probably go on a killing spree too.
Yeah.
Like, I probably would. So like, yeah, that's kind of awesome.
Yeah. Um, and again, like from all the trailers, they had that giant god city. We saw Zeus. We saw all these other gods in the trailers, and I assumed that they were there so that Gore could kill them, but instead Zeus killed them. Or sorry, Thor and Co. killed a lot of them, which was interesting. But it wasn't a thing where like they're kind of Zeus, but like it's not. It's more. It was more like they're killing them just so they can get out of the way, just so they can like get out of there. Not so much killing them because Thor and them realize they're bad. It's more just like because they're attacking, not because we want to. I don't know. Again, I feel yeah, there could have been something there, but I don't know. It was yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like I
You get
said,
it.
a lot of it didn't really make a lot of sense, but it was still kind of entertaining, so I'll allow it.
Yes, and 90% of the reason why I'll allow it is because I really, really appreciated the very liberal use of Guns N' Roses. They're one of my all-time favorite bands, and like Taika Waititi knows how to write a scene around a particular song, and
Hmm.
oh my goodness, like
It worked.
it worked, yeah. Especially my favorite scene of the movie when Thor gave all those children superpowers. Played to the
Just get the little teddy bear. She's like, choo 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 choo.
to the end of November Rain. It's like, oh, that's so cool.
That was awesome.
Like yeah, like that. Not to say like you know like how can you dislike this movie when the scenes like that exist?
Like, it's still entertaining. Like, it's one of those movies that I'm not gonna look back on and remember forever for like, oh, this was such a
Mm.
compelling story. But it's gonna be one of those movies that like I will remember for those kind of goofy, just
Oh
fun.
yeah.
Like this movie's just trying to have fun.
Yes, and it had a lot of fun. There, it I again I like most of the people who have issues with it feel like it like switch tone every 5 seconds. Like that's Marvel. Every single Marvel movie, for some reason, feels the need to like have a super serious scene and then end it with a joke, have it and
Hmm.
then just kind of go from there. But like,
Yep.
so I don't. It didn't feel out of place necessarily. It just felt like it was just kind of more of that, which is I've kind of gotten used to it, so it's fine.
Right.
But like all the scenes that were, super dark, all the scenes with gore were very intimidating. You just like felt his presence. It was amazing. There was one little thing that like watching the movie I just couldn't really get behind. There was when they finally got to the dark dimension or shadow realm, which I'm sorry.
Dude,
I'm sorry.
no, they knew what they were doing. I'm sorry. First of all, how is that not copywritten? Second of
Well, it's
all,
not technically the Shadow Realm was only like the 4 Kids dub version, so it's not even canon to Yu-Gi-Oh.
like you know, everyone knows the shadow. Like, I was just like, really? Like, I just remember saying that. I was just like, really?
Yeah. Um, so, so they land on the shadow in the shadow realm on that moon, and like they get off the boat, and then suddenly they're like in this structure, like with
Like, cabin thing?
yeah, but that cabin was not established before this moment. Like we saw the entire moon, there wasn't anything on there, and like the majority of that scene, they're like fighting all around it, and we never see the cabins. I don't know where that came from, why that's. Does Gore live in that cabin? That wasn't. I don't know. That scene in particular was kind of took me out of it a bit. Where it's like, how? Why are they here? Like, I don't know. That was one little thing where I feel like something was left out of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I don't know. It was. Yeah, it didn't really make a ton of sense. But again,
yeah.
I don't know. It's. Yeah, I just can't believe they call it the shadow. It's funny because like I use shadow realm like especially when we play Smash when someone gets like yeeted, it's like straight to the shadow realm. You know what I mean? We'll just joke about that. And he's like, I'm like, are you serious? Like,
yep.
But yeah, I mean, it was kind of cool, and I did kind of like how they went from like the most colorful movie ever to like literally just grayscale, but
it still looked really good.
Yeah, like you would still like, and it was cool because you could still tell how colorful they were because you saw it, and then like it was only colorful at certain parts.
Yeah, like
when
the lightning bolt, hammer, or Stormbreaker like did something light would emanate.
Right, that was really cool.
Yeah, just the use of color in general in this movie was done very, very well.
Very colorful movie.
Like. And then, and also the lack thereof, just seeing the shadows crawl across the floor every time he showed up. It was just, that was good. Even though they weren't in it very much, I also did really like the little bit that the Guardians were in. Just seeing them again on the big screen is always a blast.
Yeah, it's cool.
I don't like Mantis specifically. She didn't do or say a lot, but everything she did or said was just hilarious. There was one tiny thing that, again, it doesn't matter, but when Thor finally gets to that battle, and it's giving his big speech, and then immediately after, "Welcome to the Jungle" played, which was fantastic. I kind of wish he had been Star-Lord, hit the music, and then jump into battle, because it's essentially canon in the Guardians movies. Every single time a song plays, it's diegetic, either he's playing it or it's implied that it's playing in his head, or the music is actually in the movie, as opposed to just being the soundtrack. And when you have this music buff right there, I feel like that could have been a moment to show Thor and his rapport a little bit, but also just kind of keep that continuity. But
yeah,
it's not a big deal. It's just something that could have been cool for them to do. But,
yeah, it would have been interesting. But again, it's how would Thor would have heard it if he was all the way over there and then went up to the sky and then that.
It doesn't matter. But yeah, the action was just really, really good throughout the movie. Not every single joke landed, but the jokes that did land were really landed. And I liked it.
I did like it. I like it.
Yeah. I like that Thor has a daughter now. That
I will say that came out of nowhere.
True.
I was just kind of I remember they were ending it. I was like, huh? Again, I'm not against it, but I don't understand it. Also, why can she use Stormbreaker?
Stormbreaker doesn't have the enchantment. Remember in Endgame, Thanos held it for a second. So
that's right.
Yeah, it's just.
So she just has it though. So she's a god now, I guess. Or at least.
I mean, yeah, she's literally eternity incarnate. So,
That's weird.
Yeah. Um, she has laser vision, which is also fun.
Yeah. Also, that's the thing. I don't know. I
I
don't know.
don't know if she'll come back in future movies, but like just that little bit at the end of seeing
I
her
mean,
was it
I
was
guess
fun.
I mean, apparently Thor will return. So
Yeah, with Hercules as
he's
the
not.
next major villain, which is awesome.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. It's just yeah, I don't know. It was the way the movie kind of just happened. This is one of the movies that just kind of existed. It didn't really add a ton because the
Yeah.
only characters that were like lost were characters that we already thought were lost anyway.
Right.
And so like nothing really was gained or lost from this movie. It kind of just existed for funsies.
And I think that's fine. I don't think every single Marvel movie needs to be
Oh
like
no.
this like universe changing event. I
Oh
think
no. I mean
after
most
Endgame,
of
I think they
them
should have scaled it back more than they have. Honestly.
yeah. Well, that's the thing. I think because people are getting on about it. I'm like, you realize like most Marvel movies are filler movies more than a lot of
Yeah.
the other.
Yeah. Like
Like,
I, honestly, I feel stuff like Shang-Chi and others, like even Multiverse. Well, I feel like Shang-Chi specifically maybe shouldn't have been in like Moon Knight. Should not have been as big as they were. Like just scale it back just a little bit. Like in the comics, these are street/city level heroes. Like they don't really go out and fight world-ending giant monsters and like other dimensions. Like they don't really do that often. Just kind of scale it back a little bit. Whereas I feel,
yeah.
ironically, Multiverse Madness probably should have changed the status quo more than it did, but
Oh yeah.
whatever. But yeah, like, I'm not watching a Thor movie because I expect like this, universe changing event to happen. I just want to see Thor do cool Thor stuff that he
Well,
did.
that's the thing. I think we've seen enough universe changing stuff that like we expect it now.
Mm.
Because you're just like, oh, every after credit scene now is like, oh, how's this gonna change the entire universe? And it's like, I mean, nah. Like,
No.
it's just the next
Yeah.
one.
And the after credit scene of this just set up the next villain for the next Thor movie. So, you
Exactly.
know, like I don't think
Okay.
Hercules is like an Avengers thing. I think that'd be a little too small for the Avengers. Then again, I guess Loki
Well, my
was.
thing is, I
Yeah,
mean,
whatever.
you one shot it. I mean, you one shot Zeus, so I feel like
With
definitely not.
yeah, I mean, with
Which
his
I
own
was
like
still kind of
backstory.
like I was like he did that. I was expecting him to just like fall down and like pretend it and then get back up or
Mm,
something. So I was like, there's no way he just did that. Like, oh no, he actually did. Okay.
he didn't die, but he did
Well,
like
yeah, but you know what I mean. Like,
yeah.
it looked like he didn't, and the fact that other people believe that he did also
Right.
makes me feel like it was definitely possible. Like if everyone just had started laughing, then Zeus would be like, "I'm sorry, I couldn't stay in character. I'm sorry." Like then it would have been like, okay, yeah, maybe we're not as strong as we thought we were.
Hmm.
But yeah, overall, what did you think of Jane Foster?
Uh, I I really liked her. I
Yeah,
find it hilarious that for the past like 4 years, those kinds of fanboys have been like freaking out over the next her replacing Thor as like the female Thor in this universe, and just no, she's she's dead.
well,
Like she
that was my
might come
thing.
back
I was
later, but she's
like,
dead.
I don't. Well, that was my thing. I was like, Natalie Portman didn't even want to like, she wasn't really in the universe anymore. So I don't think she's just gonna like, you know what? I'm gonna full scale back, and now I'm just gonna be a main Avenger now. It's like
No, she.
I didn't see that coming at all, like happening at all. And like now, okay, here's my thing.
Mm,
How do you become Thor but like still die from cancer? I didn't get that.
I
Cause
know
like,
in the comics, essentially, um, becoming Thor, I don't think it cured her, but like it was able to fend it off, like until they were able to use space magic to cure her. Whereas in this movie, they decided to kind of do the opposite, where like becoming Thor did kill her. I don't know.
it like accelerated her death or something, which
Yeah,
didn't really make sense to me. But again, it's one of those things that didn't make sense, but I just went with it.
yeah. It's,
I don't know.
I'm not like I think it's fine. Like you said, I don't think.
Oh yeah, no, I
She's,
don't think like
yeah.
And Natalie Portman probably wanted this to be like,
Yeah, she wants to be in other movies, which I don't blame
right?
her.
Even though it's like she's like, I've already been in a multi-billion-dollar franchise. I don't need to do it again.
2 multi-billion-dollar franchises.
Yeah,
Star Wars, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like she doesn't have to do this all over again. So it's like
Yeah.
But
It's
I don't know. It's just like I don't know. It's just like I just did. I don't know. It was weird to me because I was just kind of like, wait, why is she still like? Because I thought she was just gonna like, okay, you're a god now, like, kind of, not really, sort of, depending on the continuity. No, okay, like, I don't know. That was just interesting to me.
Yeah,
but it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Also, what did you think about the whole like jealous weapon thing?
I thought it was funny.
That was so funny. It was just I like the first time where he was like looking at like, and then like and the storm it just like comes into shot.
I'm just calling you.
Dude, that was funny. I'm not gonna lie. I was not expecting that.
Yeah. I know there was one. Apparently, there was a deleted scene or a deleted idea where that giant dwarf from Peter Dinklage's character from Infinity War would be in this movie again. I assume that was to like fix Stormbreaker, but like it's not. That scene wasn't necessary. It would just kind of.
Yeah, but it's always nice to bring continuity back.
Yeah. I will say this is definitely one of those movies that it probably should have been over 2 hours. I feel like there were a couple of scenes that just kind of like flew through, and other scenes that because they lasted just a bit too long, felt like they were wasting time. And so there were a couple of things, like we've already said, a couple of things here and there that I feel like they either should have been in there or should have been expanded on more, that because it was for some reason mandated to be less than 2 hours, it just kind of didn't really get to do all that it should have done. Whereas something like The Eternals, which is an unknown franchise, I like the movie fine enough, but like, why is that could be 2 hours and 40 minutes? Whereas, Thor only 2 hours. I don't know.
Yeah, that was a long movie, and I still don't understand. Like,
it's only new. Like,
anyway, we've done that one already, but no, like, yeah, I just don't. I like this movie. I am a little sad that they got rid of the God Butcher because I feel like that would have been a really, really good like potential follow-up villain, and I thought they learned their lesson. But
I mean, he's not exactly a Avengers level villain. He's not. I feel like he's only relevant to Thor unless he had such a god killer complex that he feels like superheroes themselves are gods. So he needs to kill all superheroes as well.
Well, I mean, he could have just been like after Thor or something, and then by extension, against the Avengers because the Avengers aren't going to keep up Thor. I don't know. Like, I'm just kind of like, kind of like the whole like, I guess that doesn't really count. I don't know. But like, just like, I just like keeping people around because why not? But then again, it kind of makes sense also that he wouldn't be alive because like, also, has there just always been this like magical thing where you could just wish for anything? Because I can think of a few events that may or may not have occurred in the last couple of years that might have been useful for that no one brought up.
Especially since I know they didn't know this at the time, but Stormbreaker was the key, and Stormbreaker can just take you wherever you want. Why didn't they just use that to bring everyone back? It's not like Thor didn't know about it. Like he was explaining it to Jane in this movie. So like, why?
Yeah.
Or like you didn't want to waste your wish on this, but it seems kind of important.
That's what I'm saying. Like this was, if there was anything to ever wish for, this was it. We missed it. Like I don't.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and I
Like,
know the short answer is because we wouldn't have got an awesome epic moment thing like that. Although you kind of could have still done this.
I mean,
Well, okay, not. I mean, it wouldn't have been the same, obviously, because you don't get nearly the amount of fan service you would have had. But this makes no sense.
it's just one of those superhero things where, like, you just kind of gotta accept it. And move on.
Well, that's the thing. It's like it'd be different if Thor didn't know about it, and like he found out about it from like Zeus or something.
Right.
That would have been different because again, I feel like it would make total sense that Thor doesn't know everything.
Because
Now the fact that Thor was like, "Oh yeah, I know what this is," and
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I was thinking about. I didn't think about that till I was like till the night after. I was like,
why isn't Thanos after this? Why didn't they use it to fix it in the first place?
yes.
Why wasn't Loki after this? I feel like that would be something that he would be like.
Oh yeah.
Like, I don't know. Just there are many characters that I think would like.
Well, I mean, it's
seek it out.
basically it's like better than Dragon Balls. You don't have to fight. You can wish for anything.
Yeah.
So it's like, and it clearly can bring people back from the dead because it brought back the Gore's daughter. So like,
Yeah.
clearly this would have worked perfectly. I don't know, but of course, the real answer is because a different person wrote it, and because that's what comic. That's just how the cookie crumbles.
Thanos uses the stones to get what he wants, so they have to use the stones to reverse it. So that's why. Because the comics say that's why.
Yeah, I don't know. That was my biggest thing because I just like it was one of those things that I didn't think about at the time, but later I was like, "The heck, Thor!" like, can you imagine Black Widow just being like, "Are you kidding me?" like,
Yeah.
seriously?
Uh-huh.
I had to die on an alien planet because you forgot that there was a unlimited, there was an ultimate wish thing that nobody would have been guarding, by the way. So it's not like you had to fight anyone to get there.
Mm-hmm. It seems like one of those things where it's just like it's hard to find that. Then like that's the like they don't need a guard because it's just so hard to find. You can't like just get there unless you have Stormbreaker or whatever.
They found it. I mean, but they found it pretty easily the first time. I mean, not easily, but I mean,
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. But,
yeah, I don't know. I feel like that was a very. I feel like that was something they could have easily written so that it makes sense why they didn't use it originally. Mm-hmm. And then maybe they could have made a joke about that. It's like, oh, now we find the ultimate wish thing. You know what I mean? Like, fun, that would have been funny.
Yeah.
Like, if Valkyrie had said something like that. It's like, okay, of course we find the magical wish thing after. Well, no, she got snapped, right? No, she didn't.
Valkyrie, no.
No, she didn't.
No.
So, yeah, I would have been like, yeah, she would have been like, oh, of course, now we found the magical wish-granting thing after we lose half the universe. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that would have been good, I think. But, yeah, I don't know.
But, yeah, overall, it was pretty much the movie I thought it would be, which is fine. I liked it.
Second best Thor movie, like I said.
I'm going to watch it again this weekend. So
there you go.
I'm not going to watch Thor: The Dark World ever again, I'll tell you that much. Unless I'm like doing a Marvel series wash through.
No.
I'm not willingly watching Thor: The Dark World again.
No, it's not even on my required to get into the MCU list. So
that's true because you don't even need to watch it because Thor just sums it up in Endgame anyway. So
yep.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. I recommend it. Don't go in with the highest hopes ever. If you're just wanting a funny, fun action movie, this is it. So
it's not as bad. The critics made me think this movie was terrible. It's not bad.
No.
Basically, anything that's not like the greatest thing ever gets terrible reviews.
Yeah, same with Multiverse of Madness. I liked it. Again, I had some issues here and there, but it's not the writing wasn't bad, the story wasn't bad. I feel there could have been more done with it. I feel there
Yes.
could have been things that like could have been explored more, some questions that weren't really answered, some things that just kind of happened or didn't happen that should have gone other ways. I don't know, I just feel like people are blowing it way out of proportion because they like complaining about things.
Yeah, I mean it's not really like it's not that serious, but of course people love to overreact.
Yeah. Well, anyway, moving on to some other topics. Again, I'm never going to know the actual date when this is going to happen, but this year at ComicCon, Marvel is actually going to have two different panels. One focusing on movies and shows, and another focusing specifically on the animated shows, like
Ooh.
What If Season 2, Marvel Zombies, and X-Men 97.
Nice.
Sweet.
X-Men 97. I'm still happy X-Men's making a comeback like that. That's awesome.
Like especially since I think they confirmed that that show isn't coming until 2024. It is cool that we're at least like gonna get some like something about it. Yeah. And then obviously the other panel, we're probably gonna get our first trailer for Black Panther. We're probably gonna see first concepts for the Marvels. Maybe actually see what Kang looks like in Ant-Man 3. Ironheart stuff. Like we're just gonna get just a ton of cool stuff from that. So sometime this month, I'll know it when it's happening.
It's like it's happening right now. What? Like honestly, it might be. Who knows?
Yep. So I don't know how this kind of thing just happens. Like, we've been petitioning for this show to be on Disney Plus ever since it came out. Every other show in this series with this character is on Disney Plus, except for this one. Then all of a sudden, in the middle of the night,
Yep.
the Spectacular Spider-Man just drops on Netflix.
Yep.
What the heck?
It was glorious.
But the thing is, you can't even like find it that easily. If you type in Spider-Man, it doesn't show up. You have to type in Spectacular. Why would they do?
No, not even spectacular. You have to type in the Spectacular because I tried just Spectacular. It did not come up until I got almost on the way. You have to type in the Spec. I was like, because it is great and it's needed, and they were like, you know what, we messed up, so let's just casually put this in there without announcing it. And then everything I was scrolling YouTube and someone posted like it's on net. It was on, and I was like, no way.
Like literally, the way I found out, it was literally midnight one night. I was like drifting off to bed, scrolling Twitter, and Josh Keaton, you know, the guy that voiced Spider-Man, like retweeted something, like from some fan being like, am I seeing this right? Is Spectacular Spider-Man on Netflix? And he was like, what? It's like, even Josh Keaton didn't know it was gonna like I don't know how streaming contracts work, but I feel like the star of your show should be notified when you're gonna.
You would think so, but I mean, to be fair, I don't know. There's no doubt. But yeah, it's on there though. I was so shocked.
Not complaining.
I watched the first episode.
Like, I finally have an excuse to watch it. It's on something I have.
Yep.
I just don't know why Netflix wouldn't like at least tweet it or like this. The dumbest thing is Netflix has the absolute best search bar in the history of anything. If you try to search for something that isn't on Netflix, it will like, did you mean this? You say yes, but that won't even be on the streaming service. It'll give you other stuff that's like in the same genre with the same actors, but not the show that it or the movie that it knows you're looking for, even though it doesn't have it. Yet you type in Spider-Man and it doesn't bring up everything for Spider-Man that is actually on the platform. It's like, Spectacular Spider-Man wasn't even one of the tags where it's like, did you mean this? Like, how How did?
What?
What is this?
It knows. That's the crazy thing too. It's like it knows you want something that either used to be on there or they know that everyone's looking for.
Mm,
So it's like, oh, we don't have it, but guess what we have instead? Like,
right.
but yeah, I out of nowhere, but not unwelcome. Not
Nope.
surprised to be sure.
Not in the slightest.
Welcome.
So I'll watch those very soon.
Oh yes.
Yep. Speaking of something that came out of nowhere but is, a very nice surprise, there's going to be a Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection coming out next year.
Can we just?
Yep.
Okay, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I have been waiting for this forever. Hold on, let me get them out. All right, so we got. I don't know, which one is it? Which one is in my Game Boy? I got both fives.
Both five.
I got. Oh, it's Pokemon. Hang on. Oh yeah, both fives. White 6. Battle Chip Challenge.
Okay.
3. That's Star Wars. The other two, that's 2. Where's the other 3? Okay, here we go. Oh yeah. Nope. Where's? Oh, there it is. Okay. So I've got. We had the first one. I don't know what happened to it.
Right.
I think we either lost it or somebody stole it. I'm not sure. But we had the first one. I've got Battle Network 2. Got both Battle Network 3s. I don't do 4 because 4 is the worst by far.
Ironically, that's the only one I've played.
It's so bad. It's
really
it punishes you for playing the game because you can't get all the double souls in one playthrough, so you have to play it minimum 3 times through, and even then, if RNG is not on your side, you have to keep going.
I see.
So it's very poorly made, but it's okay.
That blue was the only one I played, actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, and then
I liked it. But okay.
No, and then we have both 5s, which I know I have 99 hours and 59 minutes on this cartridge alone. I know for sure. And then we have the 6s. And then I've got Battleship Challenge. And I'm so happy about this. One, because now I can replay these games and not lose the hundreds of hours of save file because Game Boys only have one save file. But also, it's going to be all together. It's going to be on Switch with updates. I am so excited.
Yep.
We knew this was coming because they did the Mega Man X Legacy, all the other ones. So I know this wasn't as popular as some of the other Mega Man series, but the fact that they made, I think, almost 10 games in total, you had you knew this was coming. This had to be coming, and I am so happy. I'm just. These were my Pokemon games. I played these games nonstop. Me and my brother both played them. All the chips, all the combos. It's a good time.
Oh yeah, Battle Network 4 is one of those games that I remember playing as a kid. I remember getting stuck at one point and just kind of leaving it and never coming back to it. Not because I didn't like it, I just couldn't finish it, so I just didn't bother. I'm very curious to play through it again and be how far did I actually get? Was I almost at the end, or was it a third of the way through?
That's the thing. When you're a kid, you don't know. You think you're killing it or not. You have no idea, and then you realize, oh, I'm actually trash. Yeah. No, there's so many games like that. There's a PlayStation 2 Ninja Turtles game that I thought we were on the final boss. Man, we barely lost. And then we played it as adults. We're like, wow. A, this game's super hard.
Yep.
B, we were not that good as kids. But yeah, man, it's always nice when something you love gets redone well. But it's for this, it's I don't even know what to say because I know I'm going to be playing all of them all over again. And then
Mm-hmm.
me and my brother are going to play, we're going to play together because, he played differently than I played. And I remember, like, because again, I played these a while ago, but I remember all the strategies. I'm like,
Mm.
I remember the folder, the chip codes, and I like the Flashman, Deadman. Oh my God, dude. Oh, this is going to be so much fun.
Uh,
No, I think I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna. I don't know. We're gonna do something special. I know me and my brother were talking about. Oh, we could do like a let's play or something. I'm thinking about it. We'll see.
hmm.
But man,
Nice. Yeah,
it's
I
one of the
don't.
best parts about growing up. Stuff you liked as a kid comes back.
Hmm. I don't know why they necessarily announced it already, considering it's coming out sometime next year.
Yeah,
But hey,
to make me happy because I needed a
yes,
win.
yes, that's all that matters.
Because I go, I was having a bad day, and then he said that I was like, everything just got infinitely better. I don't care that I'm behind on my deadlines anymore.
Yes, I I personally have a bad habit of buying collections and then like playing bits and pieces of each one and then just kind of not coming back to them. I
Mm-hmm.
have the Metroid Prime collection. I have the Castlevania collections. I have one of the Mega Man X collections, I think, and I've, I think I beat, I got what I believe to be halfway through Prime One. Probably not even close. I got like through the first two ish like zones of Prime Two. I played 10 minutes of Prime Three and just kind of stopped playing. Played the first couple of levels or first like I got not level technically. I know I got to the first boss of the one of the GBA Castlevania games. Played a couple of minutes of the other two, and then just kind of stopped playing that. I think I played three of the X games, and just kind of stopped playing them. So I'm gonna make it a goal that when this game comes out, I will make it my mission to beat at least two of them.
Okay.
Yeah, at least two,
At
preferably all
least
of them,
two.
but at least well,
Okay.
yeah. And how
If
from
I
because since you have so many of the like, counterparts, what is all different between each version?
Okay, so basically each version kind of adds something.
Mm-hmm.
So like the first version, you kind of just have base Mega Man, and then the second version they introduce what they call style changes, which is basically like you can have like an element plus to Mega Man, so he can be
Oh.
like fire style or like aqua style. Like even like your Mega Buster becomes element based, so it's twice the damage on certain enemies while you receive twice the damage from others, but it's
Mm-hmm.
also very helpful. And then in 3, you get element style plus a bonus, so it can be like custom style, so you get more battle chips. And it's cool because like the style you get is based on how you fight in
Mm-hmm.
the game. So it takes a sample of 50 battles you have, and based on if you guard a lot, use your buster a lot, use chips only, it gives you a different style, so
Mm-hmm.
you can manipulate it to get whatever style you want. It's
Okay.
really cool.
And
So
are
like 3 is definitely one of the best. I would
okay.
highly recommend playing 1-3.
And so like three was the three black, three white. Is that
No, it was blue and white,
blue and
but
white?
yeah.
Okay. So what functionally is the difference between blue and white? Is like different
There
different.
are different. There are different. The game is basically the same,
Mm,
but there are different bonus nabbies.
okay.
Like in blue, you get Bowl Man, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's a giant bowling pin who is very deadly.
Okay.
And then in white, you get Mist Man, who is a genie, basically.
Right.
So that's,
Okay.
and then also in blue, there's another secret nabby. His name is Punk. It's like a deadly spinning top, but he's one of the best nabbies. So
Mm,
I would definitely prefer blue over white, but the games as a whole are very similar.
okay.
Those are the only things you can really tell the
So
difference in.
basically, like Pokemon, where there's like one game you
Yes.
get Ninetales, one game you get Arcanine,
Yes,
etc.
it's exactly like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then 4, as I kind of explained, 4 is kind of just do the thing, get the task, maybe get the double soul, take forever. I don't really recommend 4. 5 is really good because it has, instead of style changes, you get what double souls like introduced in 4. So
Mm,
basically, you can you sacrifice chips with certain elements in order to get that nap. So if I sacrifice a fire chip, I can get and 5 Napalm Soul, or like whatever Wind Soul. A sword chip gives me Proto Soul, which is definitely the best one. But like,
I mean, Proto Man is the best character in the series, so yeah.
Proto Man is insane, but it's really cool because they have like, it's basically the storyline. You're basically on a team of net navis, and based on which game you pick, you get 5 different navis. So there's Team Proto Man, there's Team Colonel. So it's really interesting because like, although Proto Man is infinitely better than Colonel, the navis on Team Colonel are better than the navis on Team Proto Man. So it's kind of like which do you prefer?
Is it a thing where like all the ones on Team Proto Man are based on the original Mega Man games, all the ones on Team Colonel are based on Mega Man X games?
I don't believe so. That could be a thing, but I don't think so. Like, I wouldn't actually know because I don't really know that much about the actual Mega Man games. That's the thing. I know a lot about the Battle Network and like the anime. I don't know anything about like the original Mega Man really. So like, I know the navis are based on the same things, but I don't know if it's like, oh, this is that. But basically, they're all different ones. Some of them have been in the anime. Some you are from previous games, so like you know them. Others are completely new for this incursion, so it kind of just depends. But 5's a lot of fun. There's like dark chips and stuff, and then 6 is like broken. You get so powered because you have double souls, and then you have like basically Beast Out, which is basically steroids. It is, 6 you get ridiculous. Like it's so much fun, but it's so OP. But yeah, if I had to say my favorites are probably 3, 6, 5, 2, 1, then 4. In that order, I would say. So, good. But yeah, I would definitely start with 3 if you want it, because I think that's the best one to start with, because it doesn't give you too much, but it's a lot, and the story is the best.
Okay, but it's not a thing where like, if you don't play 1 and 2, you won't understand 3.
No.
Okay.
Pretty much all the games, like the games are good about that. Like, even if you have no idea what any of the previous ones is, it'll still introduce you to everything. So it's like, if a character's a bad guy, you'll instantly know, oh, I remember you from what? Like, it's not a big deal. Plus, not too much follows up anyway, so yeah, you'll like it. It'll work. You don't need to know that much.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, they didn't give it a release date, but I think it's coming to all platforms. So you can buy it on Switch, you can buy it on PlayStation, whatever, and just,
I'm gonna get it on both. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm definitely getting it on Switch. I'm really excited.
Oh yeah. So yeah, that's cool. Do you have anything else you want to bring up or discuss before we sign off?
That was my thing. I was gonna talk about it with you. So that was my whole thing. Something. Oh, Harley Quinn season 3 comes out end of this month.
Yes, it does.
Be prepared. I was watching. Me and my brother are watching it right now again, and dude, it's still hilarious.
Yes.
Gotta get on that. I gotta get back because I'm not completely caught up on season 2. I dropped the ball halfway through, so I gotta finish that. But man, it is. I'm just starting over, and yeah,
it's funny. It's very funny.
It's a great show. It's well done.
Okay, so with that, we'll see you all next time.
Take care, everyone.